This is Bloomberg changes about the Twitch partner program. Now, this just came out maybe, I don't know, 2 hours ago. It came out right in the morning. So we're going to look at this right here. And I guess I'll just pull up the article. Let's see here. Creator pay with focus on profit. Live streaming site wants to promote use of advertisements. Top talent could see reduction in share of subscription fees. So this is basically where we're at. Twitch, Amazon.com, said people familiar with the planning and effort that would boost its profits, but also risk alienating some of its biggest stars. The updates under consideration would offer incentives for streamers to run more ads. The proposal would also reduce the proportion of subscription fees doled out by the site's biggest performers, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the discussions are private. Some changes to Twitch's monetization structure could be implemented as soon as this summer, the people said. Twitch staff is considering paring back the revenue cut for channel subscriptions granted to the top echelon of streamers in its so-called partnerships program to 50% from 70%. I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm really not, because I heard from somebody at Twitch that they make something like less than like 5% or like 1% or something like this off of every single Twitch sub. And because like you take 70%, well, 70%, they also have to pay transaction fees, and like transaction fees for things like this are very expensive. It's like through the different financial websites that basically like make these fees occur, and they do these transactions. And so this is something I was told many years ago privately, and so I'm kind of assuming that this is probably something they've been thinking about for a while. Let's see here. Another option is to create multiple tiers and set criteria for how to qualify for each one, two of the people said. In exchange, Twitch might offer to release partners from exclusivity restrictions, allowing them to stream on Google's YouTube or Facebook. So they're thinking about dialing back exclusivity and then also paying people less money. So we'll talk about this in a minute. Let's look at the rest of it first. Updates to the partnership program aren't finalized and could be abandoned. Viewership for live videos of people playing video games has exploded in recent years and has elevated a new class of internet celebrities. Twitch leads the market, with Amazon wants to make more money in the long term. I bet they do. The unit has recently gone to work on new profit-driven incentives. There's been an exodus in recent months of top and long-time employees who said Twitch has lost touch with its community's needs. Bloomberg has reported. So let's see right here. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I thought that was something else. The rate right now for subscription is $3.50 or $5 for 1,000. Yeah, it's really not a whole lot of money for ads based off of what deal you have. Let's see here. Recently, though, Twitch has been experimenting with other approaches to ads. This year, it says creators who stream at least 40 hours a month could receive $100 for running 2 minutes of ads per hour. The payout increases with more ad views. The new proposal being considered would create a revenue-sharing arrangement, presenting a more lucrative model for streamers. Ads are controversial on the platform because they interrupt live programming. Viewers often complain that they miss important moments of a streamer's gameplay, and performers have said that ads alienate the audience and hurt their metrics. This is true. I think this is actually very good insight. I'm glad that, like whenever you have something like Bloomberg, and this is like a massive like newspaper, right? These people talk about like Ukraine, they talk about president, they talk about this, right? They talk about a lot of stuff. And I'm glad that they at least, like, this is a very good summation of what the concern is. So that's good to see. But some Twitch streamers see ads as a necessary nuisance to support their businesses when subscriptions alone won't suffice. I think that's the case for a lot of people, absolutely. For Amazon, running launch streaming businesses, $970 million. Yeah, that's great. Twitch leadership's discussed possible changes to its 10-year-old partner program for several years. And early discussions referenced performance complaints about work-life balance, some toil for a long 12 hours a day. Twitch employees began tossing around the idea of offering healthcare benefits or the ability to pause subscriptions during a vacation so they wouldn't worry about losing patrons. The focus today is more on monetization. I would have never guessed that. With Twitch established as the premier destination for game live streaming, top talent have fewer alternatives to reach a larger audience. In the past, YouTube and Facebook Gaming offered enormous sums of money to lure top creators, but these deals are rare and not always successful. I think that a lot of people are not getting deals like that. Like, this is something that many people don't get, and they're not going to be able to do, etc., right? And so, game live streaming, yeah, sure. So I think that what happens here, and guys, I know that there's a lot of stuff going on today. Please just let me focus on what I'm doing, and I'll move through things, you know, at the rate that I feel like is fair. So just keep this in mind. I'd like, please do not try to remind me, oh, did you look at this, look at that, take a look at this, watch that. Like, well, what about this, what about that? Please, just let me play the game, and let me just do what I'm gonna do, all right? So, not play the game, but you know what I'm saying. And so, anyway, look at this. Yeah, it's too much. I think, obviously, this is something that's not good for streamers. This is something that's not good for viewers. This is something that's only good for Twitch. And I've always said this, is that whenever you have a business or something like this, and their goals deviate from filling the need that the consumer has on a very simple level, filling the need the consumer has, the moment that you deviate from that is the moment that you completely lose the plot. Yeah, you totally lose the plot. You have no idea what's going on, and you're just going to be frustrated, and you're going to lose people. I think that's all there is to it. Yeah, you just lose too many people. Actually bad for Twitch because it makes creators and audience want to leave. Yeah, well, not only does it make creators want to leave, but it also makes it easier for them to leave. Because once a content creator is more on YouTube and they're making more money on there, well, then why wouldn't they just stream on YouTube? And that's going to bring people over from Twitch over to YouTube. I don't think that Twitch has a monopoly on live streaming, and I think that they do currently have the large lion's share of the market in live streaming, right? Like, let's be honest, like, Twitch is massive for live streaming. If you look at live streaming hours, live streaming minutes watched, live streaming in general, Twitch is just bigger than Facebook and YouTube put together. But this is a number that's been changing over the years. So, and it's becoming smaller and smaller. Why is it becoming this way? It's because you have things that are being implemented into the content that is fundamentally cannibalistic. So you have things like the ads being played in the middle of a stream, and you have other things like different, I think it's basically just ads. Like, that's the main thing, right? It's just ads, and also the exclusivity. So, you know, you have smaller streamers, and it's harder for them to grow on the platform because they can't really do anything. Now, how does this affect me? It really won't. So let me explain who this really affects, okay? Because I think this is going to be a very interesting thing that a lot of people might not really know. So we're going to make 3 charts here, okay? We're going to have chart number 1, chart number 2, and chart number 3, okay? I fucked that one up. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I have them all where they can fit. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so this is a... Let's go ahead and turn this down a bit so it's not too big. 28. All right, that's good. Let's say 200 viewer streamer, right? So this is how much, I'm looking like where their money's coming from, right? 2,000 viewer streamer. Okay, and then 20,000 viewer streamer. Okay? So this is the way that people make money, okay? So I would say it's something like basically like a peace sign, I would say, right? And so you have, let's say purple right here is subs. I'll just put this in here, right? Subs. Okay. It's purple text. That's not going to work. Okay, black. All right, so we've got subs, donations, and let's go ahead and do donations. We're going to do donations for green. I think that seems fair. So donations, and then I think we're going to look at maybe brown is sponsors, okay? Okay, let me go ahead and change this over. There we go. All right, sponsors, and then we're going to look at subs, donations. So, for example, this is how much, this is generally the money that people get from streaming. This is how people get their money, and this is the proportion of their money that is received. Most small streamers, donations, subs, oh yes, ads. Let me make sure that I get ads in there. I knew I was forgetting something. Let's go ahead and we're gonna do ads. We're gonna put ads right here. Thank you guys. I don't know why I forgot that. I just got distracted, I guess, by the colors. So this is gonna be maybe ads. Okay, and I think it could even be less, let's be honest. Okay, so this is ads. So small streamers don't make a lot of money on ads. Why is that? Because they're small streamers and a lot of people aren't watching them. You get paid by how many people see an ad, and if you're a small streamer, not a lot of people are going to see an ad. However, small streamers, in many cases, you guys have probably seen this, small streamers do have they do have like people in their community that donate a lot of money. Maybe they have somebody who's willing to donate you know, $1,000 a month, or you know, they've got a few whales, basically. They've got a few whales, or you know, like people call them simps, oilers, pay pigs, whatever you want to call them, depending on if you like the stream or not. They are supported directly by their audience. Like, I'll tell you right now, for me, whenever I was around this range here, 2,000 viewer streamer, I was getting about $10,000 a month in donations. That was pretty much how much money I made. And whenever I was a 40,000 viewer streamer, you know, a few years later, a couple years later, I was also getting about $10,000 a month in donations. It might have gone up to 15K. So donations, I think, are something that is a massive thing whenever you're a smaller streamer. And if anything I would change about this, I would even make this donation circle even larger. Now, in terms of subscribers and donations are fundamentally the same thing. And I think in many regards, they're interchangeable, because you have people that donate gifted subs, you have people that donate bits, you have people that, you know, that sub because they like you, they tier 3 sub. And so it's very hard to say how this works exactly, but that's generally the way that it goes. So then you look at a 2,000 viewer streamer, right? And so a 2,000 viewer streamer is probably going to be about like this. I think sponsors are a little bit larger, and I think ads are also a little bit larger as well. And so let's go back over here. I want to make sure I fix this up. And so we're going to go ahead and look at this. So subs are still going to be about this much. I would say maybe, yeah, subs are probably a little bit larger depending. And obviously for each streamer, this is going to be different, but this is generally what I see. Sponsors become much larger in this next one, right? The reason why sponsors become larger is because it's easier to get them. So for example, I can get a sponsor, just for you guys, just to put it into perspective, I can get a sponsor to pay me to play a game that will make me more money than I would have made on Twitch entirely in that entire month. Like, just one sponsor. One sponsor, if it's the right game, if it's the right thing. And I'm not talking about, you know, gambling with, you know, aborted babies or something like this, right? I'm talking about an actual sponsor that's playing a legitimate game. It might be a mobile game, it might be something like this. But like, what I'm saying is that, well, what I mean by that, look guys, what I mean by that is it's not something that's like just horrible, okay? It's not like gambling, it's not, you know, something bad. It's actually just people that, you know, want you to play their game, or, you know, raid Shadow Legends or something like this. And you see this happen, especially, there are some streamers, especially people on YouTube, and it looks a little bit more like this. And so sponsors get even bigger because there's a lot of people that are able to make more money with sponsors. Because once you get to this size, you still have a small community that everybody's part of, but at the same time, you start making a lot more money from sponsors. Sponsors pay a ton of money, and there's a lot of streamers. I think that, didn't Tally say this, that he made more money from his New World sponsorship than he had made on all of Twitch for the entirety of before the New World sponsorship? Do you guys remember this? Yeah, do you guys remember this? Like, I think that yes, he did say this. So that puts it into perspective, doesn't it? And so that's why it can be so much bigger. Well, good that the New World. Oh, it's always impossible to judge an alternative. What if they didn't do it and the game was even worse? So now let's look at a 20,000 viewer streamer, okay? And like, I'm not talking about somebody who's getting like 50,000, 40,000, like 80,000, 100,000 viewers, right? Like, at that point, it becomes even more this case, but you guys will see the trend that I'm making, okay? So this is gonna be, oops, sorry. Let's see here. And let's go back over this way. And we're gonna look first at donations. Donations are like this much at this point, right? Sponsors, sometimes, depending on how many you take, can be this much. Ads can be this much. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put the green in here as well, just so you guys can see how things evolve and what the size of everything really is. So let's go back over here. Subs. I think subs can even be smaller even. I think sponsors in many regards can even be bigger than that. And it depends on how many sponsors you take, of course, right? But this is just like a general trend. So this is where we're at. Do you like 50 candies? Well, it's like you're going to make even more. So as you can see, sponsors and ads become a larger portion of your audience and your revenue, and donations become smaller and smaller because donations don't scale as well as subscribers or ads or sponsors do. The reason why is because a lot of people that are donating to a stream, these are people who think that like, oh, I'm part of this community, I'm trying to help this guy who's smaller out. Nobody thinks I'm trying to help this guy out if they've got 20,000 viewers. So you don't have that sympathy level that gets people to donate money. That's just the way things go. So people get more donations whenever they're smaller streamers per capita, per person they have in their stream. But overall, I think that this number generally stays much more relatively the same. Now, if you do TTS, like Forza and XQC does TTS, this number will probably be a little bit different. But I think if you're just talking base donations, where you're really making your money as a very big streamer is you're making it out of sponsors and you're making it out of ads. And because you're just serving ads to so many people that you can make a lot more money. So, what does this mean? What does it mean? Have you ever done TTS? Yes, unfortunately I have. Oh, what does this mean? I think that this is something that's not really going to affect very big streamers. And also, like, if you're like one of the top streamers on the platform, you have different rules than everybody else. You have different contracts, you have different negotiations, you have different benefits, you have different rules. That's the way it goes. If you're the top in anything, that's the way it goes. You get treated differently because you are different. That's life. And so, anyway, how is this going to affect me personally? Probably it won't at all. The fact is that if I wanted to make more money, I could just take a sponsor a month or something like that to make more money. It would be easy, and I wouldn't have to worry about it at all. So whenever I look at this, who is this really hurting? Well, it's hurting these guys right here. That's who it's really hurting. It's not hurting XQC. It's not hurting Miz. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting Hassan. It's not hurting Train. It's not hurting, Rubius. No, it's not hurting any of us. It's going to hurt the smaller content creators. And that's what sucks. Is like if don't smaller streamers already get 50%? Many smaller streamers have 70-30. And by smaller, I mean comparatively smaller. I'm talking like 2,000 to 5,000 viewer streamers, like very big streamers. But like compared to 20,000 or 30,000, it's not as big. So like that's basically what ends up happening, right? And let's see if I can read these comments here. You can easily get it with an org. Yes, orgs usually have deals like that, and there's other cases as well. And no exclusivity mean you can stream on YouTube, Instagram, etc. Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means. So yes, that's where we're at. And objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Okay, true. However, I mean, ask anybody, and I think this graph is pretty much what they would tell you that their breakdown is as well. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that these changes do not really alienate top partner streamers. They do not alienate me. They do not alienate, anybody getting over 20,000 viewers. These are changes that are going to affect somebody who is getting 1,500 viewers. This is a guy, maybe he's making 80 grand a month, okay? He's making 80 grand a month, and then this happens. It might lower the amount of people on the website. He gets less subs out of it, and he makes less money, and he goes down from making, let's say, $80,000 a year to making $60,000 a year. Let me tell you something. If you are making $600,000 a year and you go to making $500,000 a year, it means basically fucking nothing. It doesn't matter because you hit the diminishing return. And unless you're spending all of your money constantly, which many people are not doing this, it's not going to make a difference. But there is a fucking a scientific trajectory, a scientific measurement that money does make you happier up to about $100,000 to $120,000 a year. Of course, besides San Francisco, we can go up to $500,000 in that regard. But in many places, I think this is a general trend. Like your lifestyle whenever you're making $60,000 a year is different than your lifestyle whenever you're making $80,000 a year. And then 80,000 versus 100,000. Have any of you guys like been in this position? Like I know a lot of you guys that like have like fucking jobs and shit like this, right? Like, yeah, you guys have been in this position, right? So like this, and like maybe for some of you that are younger, right, haven't really done as much, like you've gone from maybe 20 to 40, right? Or 20 to 30. Like going from making $20,000 a year to 30 is fucking insane. It goes from getting by to actually being able to get ahead. You can stop trying to pay your bills on the back foot. You can usually be able to pay things and make some money. Now, obviously, $30,000 a year fucking sucks dick. Like, it absolutely sucks dick, and I think people that are working on that level are probably either working part-time or getting taken advantage of by whoever they're working for. However, there's a lot of people out there who that's the case. So this happens in, I think, many regards, and those are the people that are really going to get hurt. You're talking about the streamer that gets, the streamer that gets 700 viewers, and they're able to make $35,000 a year, and now this change takes them down to 27. That's big. That's fucking big. That's like the equivalent of, that changes your life. That changes your life more than going from 600,000 down to 500,000 or 400,000. It's absolutely massive. Make 110 a year, so life is good, I'm happy? Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of you guys, I know, there's a lot of you guys, like, most of my viewers are older, right? So a lot of you guys have graduated college, and some of you actually have, like, actual jobs, right? Not, like, fucking chilling all day. But there are a lot of you guys that have actual jobs and chill all day anyway. Watch the fucking show. And so, what I'm saying here is that, this happens a lot. Now, what is the solution to this? Is Twitch making the right decision here? I honestly don't know. And in my opinion, I think that the rev split, like, I would hate to lose 70%, because, like, it's not like I don't care about money at all, right? I don't spend my money, but, like, I invest all my money. I want to have money, right? Of course, like, I wouldn't want to lose 20% of the revenue that I'm making on the ads, right? Or sorry, on my subs. Of course I wouldn't want that. Why would I want that? However, I think it would be better to make sure that this threshold doesn't happen and people are still able to make a living on the website. Because I think right now, one of the reasons why Twitch is so popular, and one of the reasons why people stream on Twitch, is because it's easier to make money on the platform. It's literally that simple. It's easier to make money on the platform than it is on YouTube. You have more monetization options. So like on Twitch, for example, let's go ahead and look at this, right? We'll just do MS Paint. So you've got, this is just different ways you can make money, right? YouTube, and then we're gonna look at Twitch, right? So for each one of these on YouTube, you've got, let's say subs, and let's see what else besides this, subs as well. Actually, let me memberships. Yeah, I think it's called memberships on YouTube. So let me make sure that I get rid of that, because that's actually kind of wrong. So memberships, you've also got ads. So we'll talk about that. Ads, and then also gifted subs. Donation culture. There's just more of a culture on Twitch that's built around donating to streamers. This is just the truth. Also, you've got bits as well, and bounty board. All of these things are things that the super chats. Yep, you got super chats. Yep, super chats. That's as well. That definitely matters. And YouTube does have super chats. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I forgot about that. And Twitch Prime, a massive one. Twitch Prime. So if you look here, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go to make money? Well, you want to go to Twitch, because Twitch has more ways that you can make money. And also Twitch has other incentives and inducements to donating and supporting a streamer, such as hype trains, and such as these other like things like hype trains and like drops, etc. Yeah, drops and drops. Yes, drops. Drops are incredible for viewership, right? People's viewership goes up massively. Like, I had way more viewers whenever I was playing Lost Ark, and a big reason for that, obviously people like the game, but the big reason for that was drops. If I have drops, it's going to make me get way more viewers. That's what it is. You get raids, that helps. Yeah, hosts and raids too. Well, I'm talking about ways that you directly make money. Hosts and raids relies on you playing. That relies on somebody helping you. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I wouldn't really put that as a value add for Twitch, because it's very individual based. And then, like, you could say YouTube collaborations. I think that we start moving into like something that's more abstract. So I think right here is more fair. It's easier to find streamers on Twitch as well. Yeah. But like, and all that leads into these different ways that you make money. Really cool to have this conversation with Devin Nash. Listen, if Devin ever wants to sit down and talk about Twitch and where he thinks it's going, I like Devin a lot. I respect him a lot. I'd be really curious to do that. I think that'd be great. I'd love to do that. And so, emote meme culture. Twitch feels more community-based. YouTube feels more individual. It does. And Twitch has a very big community. And it has a very strong community. And my argument is that that is a double-edged sword. Because people go on to Twitch, and this is what happened on the Aiden Ross days. Remember, Aiden Ross came on to Twitch, and what happened with him is he started streaming, and like he had all these W viewers. People were like, who the fuck is this? And like these people, the W viewers, never really integrated into Twitch culture. And not only did they not integrate into Twitch culture, but they were memed on by Twitch culture, and I think that makes the community more exclusive. It makes it, and not in a good way, not, oh wow, I'm part of this exclusive club. No, like exclusive, focusing on the core word exclude. They exclude people because these people are not part of their culture. This is not healthy for a website to do. This is not healthy for a community to have. Whenever you have people that are being pushed away from the platform because they don't understand how many times Emily faked cancer. There are so many memes, and there's so much like background knowledge that you have to know in order to be a Twitch viewer, that it becomes a large investment of time. And becoming a Twitch viewer is something that takes so much more time than being a YouTube viewer. So the barrier to entry is much higher. You have to download extensions. You have to do all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like how you see how this kind of stuff creeps up, and it becomes harder for people to get into the platform. Yeah, you guys see kind of where I'm saying actual learning curve. Yeah, it's like a video game. It's like an MMO. And so that's what happens. And I really hope that this doesn't keep happening. That's what I'm very concerned about. And I think Twitch, one thing Twitch needs to do is they need to integrate more BTTV. They need to make it to where everybody can see the emotes, regardless if they have the extension. They need to work with these companies and make sure that they have them in there, because these things are necessary, and people have such a drastic experience. It's so much different. Like, it's just a lot of things Twitch needs to do. I think Twitch is becoming complacent. Twitch is becoming complacent, and I think that is a bad thing for the website. I think that being complacent and getting lazy and thinking that you have a monopoly and that it will never change is something that is the first act in a Greek tragedy. Okay, that is the first act. That is the pride before the fall. So I'm going to look at what Hassan said about this. When I negotiated my contract, I knew this was coming and wanted to lock in 1 minute of ads per hour. This ad density is the lowest out of top streamers. Hassan is right about this. Most streamers have to run. There are some streamers, this sounds crazy, there are some streamers that have to run 6 minutes of ads. They're required in their contract to run 6 minutes of ads. Twitch still served pre-rolls because it wasn't 3 minutes. Love Twitch, but it seems like they're moving away from content creators to fix their profits. I think that's exactly what's happening. And the thing is that you don't really have a lot of success cases on YouTube. You don't. And I would argue that at the beginning, until Ice Poseidon, until Horseshoe Bay, I would argue that Ice Poseidon was a massive success case for YouTube. I think Ice Poseidon grew substantially more on YouTube than he did on Twitch. And that was something that happened a lot. And the only reason that Ice didn't continue growing on YouTube is because of Ice. Like, he fucked himself up. Like, that, he did. He owns gold. He owned gold. And he did it again with the crypto thing. And that's just what happens. So, like, yeah, he did incredibly well. Also, you have somebody like Speed. I think Speed is a great example of this. Speed got banned on Twitch. He moved over to YouTube. The guy's got 6 to 7 million subscribers now. And he's only been making content for a couple of years, maybe. So that's way more than he would have ever gotten on Twitch. So I don't think that this is a monopoly that Twitch stands to hold on to. Doc, I think Doc is getting about the same as he was getting before, and he's probably making less money on Twitch, or sorry, on YouTube. And the reason why Doc is making less money is because YouTube is behind Twitch in incentivizing, having profit incentives for people to stream on their platform. They are very, very far behind Twitch. How come you don't have to run ads in midstream? The reason why I don't have to run ads in midstream is because my partner contract. So a lot of people, like Hassan has a partner contract where they pay him a bunch of money and then like he has to stream and run ads. They wouldn't give me one of these contracts. I'm like probably the only person that doesn't have one. Like I think almost all of the other big streamers have it. I don't have one. The reason why I don't have one, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I take breaks, and number two, I've spoken, out a lot about the company, and I've criticized them a lot, and so they were not happy about that. So those were the reasons why it didn't happen. So Soda has one, I think. I'm not sure though, but I think a lot of people do. Only thing good on YouTube is scheduled upcoming streams and 4K unlimited bitrate streams. Yeah, I think so. So a lot of people have that. Brand risk? Well, no, it's like I would rather, here's really what it comes down to. If I had to choose between having to run 3 minutes of ads a day on Twitch and getting, I don't know, $1 million, I would rather just not do it. Like if I could get $1 million for running 3 minutes of ads an hour on Twitch, I would just not do it.